Basically, the function for the inventory feature is to achieve inventory synchronization across all platforms. Meaning by the simple terms, to tally your stock across all platforms. All right. So in our system, we actually have three types of SKU. So the first one, we call it store SKU. Store SKU is the SKU that you set in your seller center. All right. The one that you set in your seller center. So before you want to set up your inventory, before you want to start with your merchant SKU and such, you have to make sure your store SKU is 100% completely filled in. All right, for all of your stock. So you have to make sure also that it is standardized. Meaning by if you are selling product A in three different stock, you have to make sure that product A, the SKU for the product A is 100% the same, standardized in all of your three stock. Okay? And then second, we have merchant SKU. Merchant SKU is basically the SKU in our system, the master SKU, the one that controls your inventory. So meaning by each one of your product will have one merchant SKU and only one. Okay? You one product cannot have two merchant SKU. So you can only have each of your product can only have one merchant SKU. Right? And that one merchant SKU will be linked to your store. Okay, to your store SKU. So it depends on the store SKU, how the mapping relationship, how it will be depending on how many store do you currently sell the product. Right? And then we have combination SKU. So combination SKU basically where you combine multiple SKU in one variation on one listing. Okay, so for example, if you are selling product in combo or set or in bundle, okay, this kind of product in our system we call it as combination SKU. So the reason why we basically have combination SKU is for you to basically for you to easy track lah your inventory. Yeah, easier to manage your inventory. Okay, so whenever a customer buy the single merchant SKU, automatically the combination SKU also will be deducted. Same goes to if someone buys the combination SKU, automatically the merchant SKU also will be deducted. Okay, so that is the combination SKU. So if you guys use combination SKU, please do inform me. Okay, because I won't show you if you didn't use lock, because we have another way for you to generate combination SKU. Right? So these are the steps for you to use our inventory management feature. So the first step is to generate merchant SKU. So like I mentioned, for you to generate your merchant SKU, your store SKU must be completely 100% filled in. And it has to be standardized. Right? It has to be standardized. And then I can start with generating your merchant SKU. How to set store SKU? I'll show you later because in our system, for you to set the store SKU, it will be much more easier if you directly set from Shopee. From Shopee. Because in our system for Shopee, we have three ways for you to do the store SKU. So I'll show you later on how you want to generate your store SKU. Okay. So second step, link store SKU to the right merchant SKU. So the second step here is actually we call it mapping relationship. Okay, so this is what we call mapping relationship. So if you currently sell the product in 4 different store, automatically the merchant SKU will have 4 mapping relationship. So this mapping relationship actually determines how we push your stock to your seller center. Okay, so if the mapping is wrong, automatically the stock in the seller center also will be wrong. Okay, so please do make sure the mapping is 100% correct as well. Right? And then step number 3, any stock adjustment must be done in Big Seller system. That means if you want to add your stock, deduct your stock, or you want to count back your stock, okay, you have to do it directly in Big Seller system, because in Big Seller system, whatever stock adjustment that you do, okay, you will directly update your merchant SKU stock, not your store SKU. Okay, your merchant SKU. So once your merchant SKU has been basically has been added or deduct, automatically all of your store SKU will follow. Okay, it will be based on the mapping relationship. All right. Then step number 4. Step number 4, enable inventory feature in the setting. So for this step number 4, you have to enable after step number 1 and step number 2. Step number 2, 100% complete. Okay, if it's not 100% complete, please do not enable it earlier. Right? Because if you enable it earlier, you will have some issues under step number 6. Right? You will have some issues under step number 6. So please do enable step number 4 after step number 1 and step number 2, 100% complete. Okay? Then, step number 5, set up a push rule setting. Okay, actually this step number 5 is the main reason why your stock will be tally. Okay, this is actually the main reason why. So any stock adjustment that you do automatically will trigger the push rule setting. Okay, and order sync into our system automatically will trigger this push rule setting as well. All right, so I have user asking me, what is push rule? What is push rule? Okay, basically, for example, you have done the merchant SKU, you have done the mapping relationship. So now you want to add your stock and tally it with all of your seller center. So for example, you go and add your merchant SKU from, let's say, 10 stock lah. Okay, 10 stock. So when you use manual stock in our system to go and update your merchant SKU, you add 10 stock, automatically your push rule will be triggered. So that push rule will push back to your store SKU. Right? Same goes to if you have an order coming in from the seller center. Okay, for example, you have order coming in from Shopee. Right? So when that order sync into our system, okay, it will allocate the stock for this particular SKU. So once the stock has been allocated, the push rule will be triggered and it will push back the remaining available balance to your other stock. So that's how the push rule works. Okay, that's how your stock will be tallied in the seller center. All right. So in here, you can actually see I have a little note here saying that if you are using free plan, you can only create one push rule and put 500 merchant SKU inside. Okay, but if you use any of our plan, doesn't matter also if it's the cheapest one, you can actually enable and create multiple push rule, and each push rule you can put up to 5,000 merchant SKU. Okay, so as long as your SKU doesn't exceed 500, should be no problem if you want to keep continue using the free plan version. But once it exceeds 500 merchant SKU, automatically that remaining the remaining 500 too, the extra one we won't be able to tally. Minimum you have to do it manually if you keep on continue using the free plan version. Yes.
Ask the question. If one listing I have like 5 variations, like 5 colors, is that considered 5 SKU?
Correct.
Okay.
All right. All right. So last step. Start processing your orders in Big Seller system. That means from printing your shipping label, your pick list, your pack list, summary list, invoice, everything must be done in Big Seller system. Because once an order sync into the big seller system, automatically we will allocate your merchant SKU stock. Okay, we won't automatically deduct the stocks. We will allocate it first. So once the order has reached to a certain part of the process, automatically the stock will be deducted. Okay, so if you go and process your orders in the seller center, automatically that particular seller center only will be deducted. So the allocated stock in our system will go back into the merchant SKU stock. So you will face overselling issues. Right? So please do make sure you process all of your orders in big seller system. Right? So any question before I start with the system? So if you guys have any question, please do directly ask me. All right. So this inventory session actually would be a bit complicated. So if I am too fast, please do inform me. I'll slow down. All right. So first off, your store SKU. Okay. Normally, I would choose. I would ask my user to choose your main store, but based on my opinion lah, okay, based on my opinion, I would say Shopee would be the most easiest way for you to set up your store SKU. So in here, you can go to any active page. It doesn't matter lah if it's Shopee or TikTok or Shopify. If I'm not mistaken, Shopify also can be able, should be able to edit. Let me double check. Shopify also should be able to edit. Okay, but for Lazada, okay, I mentioned for Lazada, you won't be able to edit the SKU in our system. Okay, Lazada, you won't be able to edit the SKU in our system. Meaning by if you want to change the SKU, you have to go directly in the Lazada Seller Center to change the SKU. You will notice you won't be able to edit in our system. All right, but for other platforms should be no problem lah. Shopee, Lazada, Shopee, TikTok, and also Shopify should be able to edit from our system. Okay, so
you mean the SKU won't link also? If I change in Shopee, it wouldn't synchronize with Lazada for the SKU.
No, you have to change it manually.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So in Shopee, we have 3 ways for you to do. Okay, so you can click on active Shopee here for you to update your SKU. So once you are in the active page, you will see there's parent SKU and SKU. So if your product has variation, for example, like this one, we will use your SKU as your merchant SKU. Okay, but if your product is single, for example, single like this, okay, doesn't have any variation, we will use your parent SKU to be the merchant SKU. Okay, so in Shopee active page, we have 3 ways for you to edit the SKU. First, single edit, which means you do it single one by one. Second, bulk edit. Okay, a bulk edit would be nicer lah because you will update by pages. So it will be much more nicer lah, I would say. Okay, and the third one would be Excel file. So for this one for those who prefer use Excel, you can use this one. Okay, you click on import to update product info here, and then choose your store, click on export. So when you download the file, you will see there's a column for SKU. Fill in the column and then you upload the file here. Make sure you tick on update SKU here. Okay, and then click on confirm to be able to update the SKU. All right, so bulk edit. Okay, basically, so for this one, I'll show you an example only for 2 product lah. Okay, for the bulk edit, basically, the easiest way for you to do this is by using bulk edit. Okay, So I'll show you an example only for two product lah, but you can basically select all for you to generate the SKU. Should be no problem. So bar edit very suitable if you don't have any specific if you don't have any specific code for your product. Okay. You don't have any specific code, any specific SKU for your product. You can use this one. Okay. So first thing, settle your parent SKU. Okay. So in here, you can either edit one by one or you use bar edit also should be no problem. So if you use bar edit, okay, you will see there's a prefix, starting value, and suffix. So according to this preview, you can see the example. Okay, so for example, I set as the prefix as A and starting value as 0001. Now, when you click on confirm, automatically it will follow the sequence. So if you have 100 products in total in this page, automatically it will follow A001, A002 until the bottom of the page. It will follow the sequence. Okay, so once you have added the parent SKU, next thing you need to edit your SKU. So SKU part, this is actually the easiest part. Directly click on the bar edit button. So we will use this format to generate the SKU for you. Okay, we will use this format to generate the SKU for you. Parent SKU, version 1, version 2. So if you click on confirm, automatically it will update all of your SKU until the bottom of the page. So by using this method, automatically each one of your SKU will be unique, meaning by it will be different. Okay, but you can only do this for one store, meaning by if you use Shopee, if you start with Shopee to generate your SKU, for your Lazada, your TikTok, your Shopify, you have to copy and paste only. My suggestion, you copy and paste lah, much better. Okay, so this process will take a lot of your time. Okay, this SKU part will take a lot of your time. So in here, after everything is done, directly click on update. So should be able to use it. Okay, so it will directly update. All right. So this is store SKU. Right? Store SKU. So in here, let me see if I have any products here.
Sorry, just now you said I have to copy and paste, right? I can download the Excel to copy over and then upload back, right? I don't have to like do one by one in Big Seller app. I can download the Excel, right?
Yeah, boleh. Should be able to do it. But then for, if I'm not mistaken, for TikTok, TikTok also can. You can use Excel to update the SKU also. Should be no problem.
Yeah,
But
so
just a reminder.
Yeah, so once I'm done in one platform in Shopee, so I just download the Excel sekaligus copy.
Yes. Betul. Much more easier lah. But then for Lazada, you need to edit one by one juga loh. Because you have to edit directly from the Lazada Seller Center. Okay?
Oh, you mean Lazada? I cannot download the Excel?
Yes. Correct. Lazada, you won't be able to edit the SKU from our system. You have to do it directly from the Lazada Seller Center.
Oh, so tedious. Okay.
Yes. Lazada a bit complicated lah, but then for other platforms should be no problem. All right. So let me double check if I have. All right. So you have to make sure, okay, the benefits of you using copy listing, right? So once you edit the SKU here, if you import to your other store, the SKU will automatically follow. Okay, will automatically follow. Meaning by for your new product, you don't have to set the SKU multiple times. You just directly update it once in your one store, and then you use copy listing, should be able to update in, should be able to copy the SKU and the product itself into your other stores. You don't have to edit the SKU anymore. Okay. So let me create one to show you how the mapping relationship works. Um, all right. So now, okay, for example, you have added all the SKU. You have make it standardized into your all of your stock. So now, okay, you are ready to generate your merchant SKU. Okay, so what you have to do is, okay, for this part, right, I would normally ask my user to choose one store for you to generate your merchant SKU. Okay, one store. So normal for this one doesn't matter also. If you want to do it directly from Lazada also can, from TikTok also should be no problem lah. All right, the way is 100% the same. So I'll show you from Shopee. So in here, use when you are in the active page, you will see there's a map merchant SKU button. So you can directly click on generate all. All right. You can directly click on generate all. So the example I'm going to show you now is only for one product. So I will click on generate selected, but it is still 100% the same law. All right. So in here, I select the product, click on map merchant SKU, click on generate selected. So our system will check the SKU first, and then you click on confirm and next. So you will see there's SKU name, title, stock alert, or SKU name. This will be your merchant SKU name. Okay, this will be your merchant SKU name. So for the title here, this is your merchant SKU title. Alright, merchant SKU title. So normally, if you do it, if you do your merchant SKU from this page, we will use your product title to be the merchant SKU title. Alright. Okay. For the stock alert, weight, size, cost, you can basically edit this information later. Alright, should be no problem lah. Okay. So make sure the warehouse that you choose here is your default warehouse. And then you can directly click on generate. So how do you know if we have successfully generated the merchant SKU or not? You click on inventory, click on merchant SKU. So in here, you will see there's SKU name, map store SKU and such. SKU name, this is your merchant SKU name. This is your merchant SKU name. Okay, this is what we call mapping relationship. Right? This is what we call mapping relationship. So the reason why it directly mapped to my Shopee is because I generate the merchant SKU from my Shopee. Okay, so if you generate your merchant SKU from your TikTok, it will map to your TikTok store SKU. Alright? So in here, depending on how many store you currently sell the product, should be able to see the mapping relationship here, right? So for example, you have done the merchant SKU and now you want to map it to your other store. So what you have to do is you click on other active page. Okay, other active page. So if you start with Shopee, and then you can proceed with Lazada and then TikTok and then other platforms. All right. So in the other active page, other stock, you repeat the same step. So if in Shopee, you click on generate all, in Lazada, in TikTok, you click on generate all also. So for like mine, since I clicked on generate selected just now, so in Lazada, I click on generate selected. You just repeat the same step. Repeat the same step, click on confirm and next. And then in here, make sure this button is ticked off. This button, make sure it is tick, and then directly click on generate. So how do you want to check? You can double check in the merchant SKU page. should be able to see that it will automatically map to your merchant SKU. So this is the benefits if you standardize your store SKU. Right? If not, you have to manually map it one by one. So for example, like mine, I have 33,319 SKU. So for me to map it, if I didn't make it standardized, I have to manually map it one by one. Right? That is the cons of you not standardizing your store SKU lah, basically. Okay? So, step number 1 and step number 2. So far, is it clear? Okay. All right. So I'll proceed with step number 3. So step number 3, any stock adjustment must be done in Big Seller system. That means you can only update your inventory, your stock under inventory module here. So under inventory module here, actually we have four features that you can use to update your stock. First, manual stock in. Second, manual stock out. Third, inventory list. Fourth, stock count. Okay. So, but for today, I'll only show you 2 features, which is manual stock in and also manual stock out. So, for manual stock in, is where you add your stock. Manual stock out is where you deduct your stock. Alright? So in here, once you are in the manual stock in page, click on add stock in list. And then stock in warehouse, make sure it is the default warehouse. Stock in type, if you click on it, you will notice we have 2 types. Stock in ordinary and also stock in return. Okay, so stock in ordinary meaning by you stock in as usual. You want to add your stock as usual. Stock in return meaning by you want to add your stock back for your return orders. Okay, because for your return orders, we won't be able to perform it automatically lah. So meaning by you have to do it manually. Okay, you have to do it manually. Alright? So click on select merchant SKU. And then choose your merchant SKU. Okay, stock in quantity. You can either edit one by one, or if you want to use but edit also should be no problem. Okay. Unit price. This is your current cost price. Okay, because every time you buy from your supplier, the cost price won't entirely be 100% the same. So you can update the current cost price here. So for example, today you perform manual stock in, the cost price is 10 ringgit. Suddenly, the next 2 weeks, you perform another manual stock in. The cost price has reduced to 9 ringgit. Okay, our system will calculate an average cost price. Okay, if there's any changes, our system will calculate one average cost price. Okay, so after you have submit everything, make sure you click on submit. You can find this under stock in tab here. So we'll show you lah when you have performed the manual stock in, what time, what date, who performed it, how many SKU, how many quantities and everything. Okay, same goes to manual stock out. In manual stock out page also, you click on add stock out list for you to deduct your stock. Okay, but you will notice stock out type here, we only have one type, and then we don't have any unit price column. We only have stock out quantity column. So same thing, when you click on submit, you can find it under stock out tab here. All right. Step number 3. Any questions? So I'll just continue only. If you guys have any questions, feel free to just directly ask. Okay, so for step number 4, enable the inventory feature in the setting. Okay, for step number 4 here, you can click on setting. Okay. And then click on inventory setting. So in here, inventory feature, you have to make sure that this button is turned on. Okay, and you will see there's a little note here saying that the stock will be reduced only if the order is arranged on Big Seller. Okay, meaning by the order must be processed in Big Seller system. Okay, so when you try to turn on this inventory feature, you will see there's two options. First, allocate stock after placing order. Second, allocate stock after paying orders. Okay, first option. Okay, you have orders coming in from this seller center with the status of pending payment. Okay, this kind of orders, we will still allocate the stock. Okay, if you choose the first option, we will still allocate the stock. Okay, for the second option, we will only allocate the stock for order that has been paid. Alright, meaning by if you want to avoid overselling issues, make sure you choose the first option. Okay, first option would be the best for you. Because normally my user who use the second option confirm will have overselling issue. Okay, so don't worry. If you choose the first option, for example, you have orders with the status of pending payment. Okay, suddenly customer cancel the order. Okay, customer tak jadi buat payment lah, senang kata. So automatically our system will release back the allocated stock into your seller center. Okay, so don't be worried. You can just directly choose the first option. This would be the best one lah. Alright. So step number 5, set up a push rule setting. So for this step number 5, you can click on inventory, click on push rule. So directly click on add push rule. Rule name. Doesn't matter what name you want to give also, this is only for your reference. Okay, you can give any name you want. So for example, and then select store, you can click on all store. All store, we will still follow your mapping relationship. Okay, and then select merchant SKU. Okay, select merchant SKU. Directly choose all of your merchant SKU. Okay, so in here, if you're using free plan, you can see lah, the maximum you can choose only 500 SKU. But if you use paid version, you can choose up to 5,000. Alright? So, in here, once you have chosen everything, make sure you click on confirm. And then push quantity. Total available stock in the selected warehouse times with how many percent. Okay, how many percent that you set here determines how many percent we will push the stock to your store. Okay, how many percent you set here? So for example, you set here 95%. 95% of your total available stock will be pushed to your store. Okay, plus 0. This is what we call dummy figure. So please do not put any quantity here. The quantity that you put here will be reflected in your seller center. Okay, so for example, the product is already out of stock, but you put here 5. Automatically, that product will still have 5 stocks in total in the seller center. Okay, so please put here as 0 if you don't want to have any overselling issues. But if you are selling digital product, you can use this one. Should be no problem. Okay, and then when the push stock quantity contains a decimal. Okay, this one actually depends if you set here a certain percentage here. Okay, so if how do I see it? So if for example, let's see any stock lah, the total available stock times with the percentage that you set here comes to a decimal point. Okay, you can choose whether you want to round down or round up or round to the nearest. So it depends on you. Okay, so you can choose it here. So select warehouse, make sure you choose your default warehouse. And then for the about to be sold out, we have 3 options: not processed, convert to sold out, and convert to pre-order. So For this one, I will only introduce two options, not process and convert to sold out, because I don't really recommend for you to use the third option, and it only supports Shopee. Okay, so not process, meaning by the normal process, your stock is zero, and then this in the seller center also will be zero. Okay, convert to sold out. You can set a certain quantity here. So for example, 5. So when your available stock becomes lower than 5, automatically we will push the stock to become 0 for all of your stock. Okay, but you can choose an exceptional stock. For example, your Shopee has the more sales stock, has more sales comparing to your other stock. So you can actually choose your Shopee as your exceptional stock, meaning by in your other store will appear as out of stock, but in Shopee it will still appear as the stock will still appear as 5. Okay, depending on your available stock, right? Then you can set another quantity. For example, you set 2. So when your available stock becomes lower than 2, automatically we will push the stock in Shopee also to become as 0. Alright? So I have user asking me, if I have already set up here 95%, why do I have to set up this one also? It depends on you actually. My suggestion, you only choose one. So if you ask for my opinion, I would recommend for you to use the convert to sold out, because the quantity that is set here is actually fixed. But for this one, this is not fixed. Okay, the percentage here, this is not fixed. This is depending on your available stock. Okay, so if you want to play it safe, my suggestion, you use convert to sold out, much better. All right, so the push through setting, you can do the push through setting after you have confirmed whether your stock is correct or not in our system. Okay, once you have confirmed the stock is correct in our system, you can proceed with the push through setting. Right, so after you have set everything, make sure you click on save, and then click on save and push immediately. And please make sure the status here is turned on. Okay, if not, the push rule won't automatically run. All right, any question for the push rule setting before I proceed with the last step? Last step would be the most simple step 1. No questions, huh? All right, so last step would be processing orders. All right, let me see if I have any. Okay. Okay, so this is where you process your orders. Okay, this is where you process your orders. So in here, you will see there's new orders, in process order, to pick up orders, ship, completed, and everything. Okay, but actually out of all these pages, you will only use 4 pages. Frequently use 4 pages. New orders, in process orders, to pick up orders, and also ship. Unless if you have cancel order or return orders, that is basically a different story lah. Okay, so for example, you have an order coming in from the seller center, so it will directly sync into the new order page. Okay, so in this page, once you are ready to process your orders, what you have to do is you select the order and click on pack. So when you click on confirm, it will go into the in process order. Okay, so in the in process order page, this is where you print your shipping label, you print your PID list, summary list, invoice. Okay, so if you try to print your shipping label, okay, in our system will appear one print result confirmation page. In here, you can click on mark as printed. Alright, so under status column here will appear one icon. We'll show you what time you have printed the order, when, and everything. If it's a Shopify store, can it arrange delivery? Can arrange if you connect to third-party logistic. You have to connect to third-party logistic. But this third-party logistic also in our system currently for Malaysia, we only have JNT Express. I'll show you later on how to connect with the JNT Express. Wait, with the third party. So after you have print the shipping label, so now you are ready to give the parcel to your courier. So what you have to do is you select the order and directly click on ship. Click on confirm. So the order will move to 2 pickup orders. So in the 2 pickup orders page, basically you don't have to do anything else. You just wait for the courier to scan the parcel and then the parcel will automatically move to ship. All right, as simple as that. So it is actually 100% the same if you try to process it in the Big Seller app. 100% the same. Okay, 100% the same. So as for your question, Sam, so for the third party logistic, you can click on setting and then authorization center and third party logistic. You can find it here. So just make sure you have an account lah, and then directly can connect already. Should be no problem. So once this third party logistic has been connected, should be able to process your Shopify orders. But if not, you won't be able to process it. You have to manually update. Meaning by you have to do 2 times lah, basically. In shipping settings, okay. There is a part where you can choose shipping options. This one is it? Correct or not? Okay. Okay, the button that you see here, right? The status here is actually, we will only show you which courier that you currently are using. No, you will still have to request with the seller center. You still have to request with the seller center. All right. Okay, so any other questions before I end the session? Any other questions?
Yes, hi.
Mm.
I want to know how we can proceed the shipping label together with the SKU plus the figural label together in one page. The
Okay.
terminal printer page.
Okay, for this one, you can use the customized shipping label. So for you to use the customized shipping label, you can click on order here and then click on print settings. And then make sure you click on shipping label printing. So in here, you will see there's customized shipping label template. So click on add template. So you will be able to basically customize according to your own lah. So we have 3 types here that you can choose. Right? So if you use this one, you don't want to print with a pet list. Please turn off the pet list setting. Okay? In the shipping settings, shipping options, okay, please make sure you turn off the button pet list here. Okay? If not, in your shipping label already have the SKU punya details, and also when you try to print out, if you haven't turned it off, it will print out with your pet list. Okay? So you can use this one. Shipping label, customer shipping label template. All right?
There is an option for figural the symbol. The
What sample?
broken glass, glass item. We normally use the figural, right?
But you can find it under the print setting, the customized label. So you can actually find it here. Fragile reminder.
Yes, actually, yes, correct. That's I'm talking about.
Yes, this
Figure.
one. You can use this one. All right. Any other questions before I end the session?
Don't forget, we offer free training and demo sessions exclusively for our Big Seller users. Drop your training request, share your info, and let us know what you want to learn. Our customer service will reach out to you promptly. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more upgrades and features in Big Seller. See you in the next one.